Yeah! Here we have Decepticon Space Bus. No, I'm sorry. I can't help it. Ever since Galvatron called him Space Bus in the IDW comic, I can't not think of him as Space Bus. Obligatory box art pan! Alright, here he is. The bot himself, out of box, large, live, and full effect. First impressions, he feels meaty, like he feels solid, you know? Well, not his arms, but everything's packed pretty tight. He's got a real nice density to him, right? In terms of posability, we got bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, universal shoulder joint, waist swivel, which I did not expect. Universal joint at the thigh. Not too bad out the knee. You can get pretty close to 90 degrees out of that knee. If you're looking at him from the side, he is pretty thick. That is a cankle. There is very little chance that Astrotrain is going to feel like Johnny Drama from Entourage about his calves. My calves, bro. I got weak calves. One thing I would like to point out with the articulation, right, is sometimes depending on the poses you're throwing and the shapes you're trying to throw, there are some clearance issues between calf and backpack. Not a huge deal, but like it is a thing. It is a thing. Look at that head sculpt. They've done an amazing job. Astrotrain, I find, is one of those dudes who has like a fairly generic looking noggin. Like he could be like fractor, reflector, like any other mother sucker. But they've done a good job of making it feel like it's not a generic face.
I'm not sinking into the background this time.
If it pleases the court, I thought I might start with some comparisons. Here he is next to his first modern incarnation, deluxe class Astrotrain. I don't know that anyone really could argue that this is not infinitely superior to this. This is really showing its age now. I do things that I can do the things. I'm relevant. I can do the things. And here he is next to Leader class, Voyager class. I know online a lot of people had questions about his size, and it hadn't really worried me too much until you see him standing next to Voyager Astrotrain from Titan's Returns. This is a big size discrepancy, considering this is like one price point higher, like almost double the price of this. I can see how some people have been upset. Now, Siege Astrotrain does come with a little junk in the trunk, right? He's pulling that caboose. Your boy Space Bus doesn't roll up empty-handed. But I can understand how this would be off-putting to some people. Here we have him with fellow leader Decepticon, Shockwave. Oh, mommy's alive. Look at that light paping in Shockwave, would you? God, that's tight. Doing the thing it's supposed to do. He's a little bit taller than Shockwave. And I get why people get mad about, like, the new sizings, but for me personally, I'd rather just have a uniform scale across all the figures and sizes. That's always been one of my pet peeves since G1 is the weird toy scaling. So this is fantastic as far as I'm concerned. Shockwave's armor kind of, like, gave you a bit more, I feel like, than the caboose. It's probably like the same mass, but Shockwave maybe had more playability with his armor. I'm not surprised, I am after all superior. So while we've got the old bruise-coloured boy here in robot mode, I thought we'd have a look at how he interacts with El Caboose. You go ahead, you want to pop these top, and that lets you pop the sides. So there you have this weapons cache. Now, when I was first opening it up and having a look, I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of cool. I'm not at all a fan of how this interacts with him in robot mode, like with these giant feet paddles. So I'll take them off. I'll show you quick, but like, it's not good. It's unnecessary. I'll get that on there. Get that on there. And now he's got bigger feet, which do stabilize the backpack. So if we get this, give that a spin around there and fold it down flat, close the sides back up. The jet cones match with this. Alright, so now he's got snowshoes and a massive backpack. You can take out the guns and put him on him, but then if he has the guns on him, why is he carrying around the massive empty backpack? Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's take a look at this beautiful ballistic barrage. You got this one. You got that one. We've got this dude. And this cheeky little missile pod clutch. So, obviously, we can pimp out our boy and get it all over him. Yeah, cheeky shoulder missile. Let's get, yeah, railgun in that hand. Gatling gun, I always get that confused. Right, so then you get him there looking like something out of like a Guy Ritchie joint. Do you know what the meaning of Nemesis is? Then I guess we'll go ahead and give him some funky silhouette action. These guns are for later. I'll use them at a later time. The weapons can also join together like Roadbuster style for a super Requiem blaster dealio, if you are so inclined. Right, these going sideways. You idiot! Pew. That one's a much tighter fit. Alright, and you just get this boyo wrong way. Get that in there. And there's your really big gun.
I've got that shot.
Alright, let's see if I can actually remember how he's supposed to transform. I guess you'll tell from the edit. Tuck in his hands and fold his arms up into little blocky blocks. Maybe we'll separate that. Untab those. Alright, with these arms, there's that tab there. Tabs into that slot there. There we go. That looks like a thing, doesn't it? Sure, why not? Then let's assume that this comes back, and that does that. And assume that this cone separates, flips up. So that goes out together. Cool, cool. Now, if we come down here, these feet, oh god, that stresses me out. The foot is just connected by this little mother flippin' pin, and it just pokes into that hole, as if this isn't breaking, and then that's what the ankle tilt's anchored off. Oh, I tell you, it's bloody stressful. But anyway, unfold them. Fold them both back. Oh, that's the opposite of what I wanted to happen. Let's push these bits together. You got your nose cone. I gotta fold those up for some reason, I think. If I'm remembering right. Get those feet around. That seems like something that has to happen. There, that's what was missing. Hey, that's alright, isn't it? Now, also seems like as good a time as any to show off that launch feature. It's kind of cool. It is a little problematic. If he flies away, how does he reclaim the caboose for later transformations? And here we have him with his, I don't know, family tree, his history. I wish I had G1 to throw in the mix, but I don't. I'm sorry. I feel bad about it. This is what I've got. I do remember when this came out back in the day, when it was like the first, oh my god, they're doing G1 again. Thinking this was one of like the most impressive transformation sequences I'd ever seen, and it was still pretty nifty. It's tight. Like, it's tight and all ensorcelled within itself. It's not this kind of gappage, right? And if these are meant to be Cybertronian modes, I'm at a little bit of a loss because this looks like Cybertronian AF. I really, really like this mode. Alright, let's see if this train's formation goes any smoother. I'm sorry, I just couldn't resist. I needed some kind of transition. See if this is one that I can do. Doot 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 doot. Push that down. I hope that's where that goes in the end. That's right. I do now recall the snapping sounds of these plastic bits being relatively stressful. And they have little divots that they go into. Oh god. Yes. Yes. It's all coming back to me now. So we want to split this. Yeah, split that nose cone. Right, then these pieces. Bickety bam, you got yourself a train. So on that side, now it's kind of this way around. So you just want to smash that new train face back together. Oh, no, I lie. I forgot an important step. You gotta pull out the oil lantern and the steam chimney. Smokestack, steam chimney, I don't know. Anyway, pull that out. Then go and put this big collar cuff back where it was, which I don't quite know why it needs to be so Golgothran, like huge, but whatever. There we go, Joe. Snippety snap, nice and taut. Get these wheels. Surprise! I'm a train! These. Maybe I should have done these first. Yes, mayhap. There we go. Train on this side. There he is. A Cybertronian steam train. Oh man, I am loving these Cybertronian vehicle modes. Sorry I'm late, said Astrotrain. That's okay. I hope you've come packed for war. The separate caboose is something I actually really like, and for me, it actually makes a really big difference to how I see this figure. Like, as an accessory, that actually feels like a really cool one. Here we got the three of them together. Starting to look a little bit like the set of Starlight Express. Siege is by far my favourite of these train modes. Look at it. There's a lot of train for your pain. Right, if Astrotrain's kind of like designation as a triple changer, like his job before the war, was hauling freight or being a courier, because obviously as a triple changer you can get places that other people can't. So maybe like, you know, in the Siege days, he's like a courier, a smuggler. He can get your weapon caches behind enemy lines where you need them, through blockades, past a siege, if I dare. And in that respect, I kind of like it, because it makes it like a character relevant, function relevant kind of accessory pack. And then in either mode it works. Like if he's a train, he's towing it. In space shuttle mode, it's like weapons ready.
We're holding him back for now, but it ain't gonna last long.
We just don't have the firepower to gun our way out of here.
Astrotrain inbound. Reinforcements forthcoming.
This is everything I could get from the base and get to you guys on time.
We will see that it is put to good use. In the name of the Decepticon cause.
Just made my day, space bus.
Automation and retaliation in full effect.
Glad you like it, guys, but I gotta jet. See you on the next one.
If you hadn't planned on picking him up, I would highly recommend it. He makes an awesome addition to fill out some of your Decepticon scenes. He may be a little smaller than what we've become accustomed to with our leader class figures in previous waves, but I am all about the scaling. And even though they're coming in at the same price point, I feel like you really get your money's worth of the playability, and his gimmick helps him fit in really well with the whole Siege play scheme of being able to arm up other people. And he's just solid. You know how every now and then there's a figure that, like, a new version of a classic character comes out, and you're just like, oh, this is now the definitive version of this character. Okay, alright. All other Astrotrains are now obsolete.